A very good evening to you. Thanks for joining us on the Tuesday edition of the show. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Well, we're here to talk about the Olympics, especially the heroics of Nigeria's women basketball team, the D Tigress. We'll be talking about what they've done and, of course, what's in front of them as they seek to make history by going all the way, getting to medal zone. So thanks once again for joining us, Yemi Adebayo. And of course, we'll be looking at all of these issues. We'll be looking at the Olympics. We'll be looking at Team Nigeria in focus, the events we're participating in, and the ones we're looking forward to participate in. And when we're done with the Olympics, there are other things happening in the world of sports. So I'm going to take a breather, and of course, you'll hear a sound. When we return from all of that, we'll be in the Olympics segment proper. All right, welcome back. And of course, it's time to talk about the Olympics. And of course, there's no other better place to start is to talk about the heroics of the Tigress, what they've done. Of course, winning against the much fancied Australia. A lot of us weren't expecting that, but it turned out to be a victory for the girls, and of course a lot of people singing praises of the girls and of course their coach. Well, on the show tonight we have someone who's a basketball enthusiast, a sports journalist, someone who really loves basketball and of course has deep insights into all the issues in basketball. Queen John Mosef joins us on the show tonight. Queen, greetings to you. Thanks for finding time to be with us on the show tonight.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
All right. So, I don't know about you, but a lot of us were optimistic, but not that optimistic. So, I want your immediate reaction to that result. Did you expect it? Did you think it could happen? Or you are surprised, as many of us are?
Well, I expected it to be very tough. And also considering the build-up to the Olympics, I expected it to be tough. And looking at the fact that we're the least ranked team at the Olympics, so we're the underdogs going into that game. And looking at head-to-head previous meetings between Nigeria and Australia, they've always had it over Nigeria. So I knew it was going to be tough. But there was still that little sense of belief inside of me that the hunger of the girls and the drive and the perseverance could work for them. We've seen that at the FIBA World Cup, at the 2018 FIBA World Cup in Spain, where nobody gave the Tigers a chance, but they went as far as the quarterfinals of the World Cup, which no African side had achieved before. So I knew it was tough. I knew the chances were very slim. I knew it, but I just had that sense of belief that something could just spring up. Something could just happen. And the manner at which the girls started off, yes, it was a bit slow in the first 1-2 minutes, but on defense, they were so great on defense. They put a lot of pressure on the Australians, forced them to cause a lot of turnovers. They caused like 26 turnovers, got over like 10 points off the turnovers, like 26 points off the turnovers. So I understand why a lot of people are surprised and shocked by that. Nobody would have thought that a Nigerian team, the least ranked team at the Olympics, will beat Australia, who are 13 in the world. So it's a big shock for many. For me, I knew it was tough. I knew it was a tough group, but I just had that little belief that something could happen.
All right. But let me also ask, as someone who follows the team, has friends among the ladies who play for Nigeria, knows things that we probably do not know. This victory, does it look to you like something that could be sustained, or is just one of those David Goliath moments?
No, it's not David Goliath moments. No, it's not. It's actually something that could be sustained. The Nigerian team, when it comes to sport in Nigeria, we usually have this fire brigade approach. We think that we just need 2 weeks, 1 month or less to prepare. and we are good because we feel we have the talent. So just a little bit of preparation and that'll be it. But it's not really a great approach because you look at the likes of the US, the Germans, the Belgians, the Spaniards, they put a whole lot in preparation. They won't take 4 years. After these Olympics, they're already preparing for the next Olympic Games. But for us, we go back, when we get it wrong, we complain a bit, we worry, and then we nag a bit, and that's it. And we all go to sleep. There maybe 2 years' time, 3 years' time, we start remembering, oh, there is an Olympic Games coming ahead of us. So I think if we have more time to prepare with the way the girls play, then you should know that the girls would do a lot. They will achieve a lot if they get better preparation, not just the D Tigers, maybe the D Tigers and other national teams. So, but it's not a fluke. It's not a one-off. It's not a David Goliath moment. Like I mentioned a few minutes ago, I said they did that in at the FIBA 2018 World Cup. Nobody would have thought that they would have beaten Greece. They would have beaten, was it Brazil or so, to get all the way to the FIBA 2018 quarterfinal stage where they lost to the US, which we know that it's kind of tough facing the world champions. So, but it's not a David Goliath moment. They can't sustain it, and it's now down to the Nigeria Basketball Federation to help the girls sustain, to make names for themselves. Because look at this set of girls. At the last Olympic, they didn't even win one game. They lost all three. And even the last Olympic Games, it's a bit of struggle, challenges off the court as well before they went on court. But they still shook that off to ensure that they still play. This time around, they also faced some challenges of which they tried to shake off. They didn't allow the noise and the disbelief from so many Nigerians about their chances. Some even tagged them as content creators because they were dancing and then trying to enjoy the moment, because the Olympic Games come like every 4 years and never easy. The road to the Olympic Games is not always a rosy one. It's always tough before you get there. So if you get to the Olympic Games, you have to celebrate. You have to milk the moment, enjoy the moment, because you never know or have an idea if you will get to that particular stage in the next 4 years. So a lot of Nigerians, or some Nigerians, tag them as dancers, or they are just celebrating if this is how they're going to win. But I think this particular way they did on Monday, that was yesterday, just had to, they had to use that to shut out all the criticisms, the negative energy from some people who didn't have belief in them, who felt that they were not good enough, which I understand is no fault of some set, because the build-up, friendly games, yes, we really don't have to win a friendly game. You have to learn lessons, pick lessons from friendly games. And when some people felt that they lost to Serbia, lost to Germany, so maybe they are not ready, but they've now showed us that they are actually ready. Those games or those feats were just to prepare them ahead of the Olympic Games. So it's not a David Goliath moment. It is sustainable as long as we put our house in order, make sure we give the girls what we need to give the girl in terms of intense incentives, preparation, and ensure that they stay happy.
All right. I hope the authorities are listening. One more question before I allow you go, but I'm going to go across now and show the viewers the next set of games. And I want to see if Queen is going to be as optimistic as she was earlier. Remaining games in Group B, women's basketball at the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris. The D Tigers will be up against France, the host. That's on Thursday. Then on Sunday, they will be up against Canada. Thursday, August the 1st, Sunday, August the 4th, they will be up against Canada. So, Queen, before you go, let me just ask you this. Leaving aside what we did against Australia, how do you think the girls will fare against the host, France and Canada?
Yemi, why are you putting me on the spot like this? Okay, Yemi is putting me on the spot tonight. It's going to be very tough against the host nation. That's just the truth. I was watching the men's national team, the French national team, a few hours ago when they played against the Japanese team. Japanese team almost got that victory. They dug deep took them to overtime, but you had the fans chanting and all. You have the extra man. So they will definitely have the extra men or women there for them on the day. But aside that, the French team are a very, very, very strong side. They're aggressive, they're athletic. They're also very, very good on defense. Defense is like their major strength. So the D Tigers will have to work. They will have to work if they have to get that victory. But I think I'm more optimistic in the game against Canada, really. They are not as tough and strong like previous years. I really don't know what's happening to them. Maybe the next generation is not as tough as we've seen them in recent years. Their men's team is actually stronger than the women's team. So I would look forward for the game against Canada, but I'm optimistic that the girls will qualify to the next round because the top two from each of the group and two third best team will get to the quarterfinals. So I'm optimistic that we'll get through, and that will be first ever, like an African team getting to the quarterfinal, or the next stage rather, the knockout stage of the Olympics. So but the game against France, I'm not going to lie to you, it's going to be very tough, really, because you're having two teams who are very good on defense. You have two teams who have spectacular players in them, two teams who are hungry, but they have the advantage because they are the hosts. And the host nation, that might really play a bit of an advantage to them. Not like the calls or not to go for them, but there is this thing about playing at home and the energy, the motivation you get to play against that. But the D Tigers have played at home grounds and beaten the likes of Senegal. So this is not like the first playing against a home team, but it's going to be tough. My optimism is not so strong like that of Canada. I'm more optimistic against Canada than France. But I think they'll do their best. They'll do their best. Whatever happens, we'll wait for Canada game.
All right. Queen John Mosef, I want to thank you for your time on the show. Hopefully we'll do this again some other time.
Thank you for having me.
All right. That was Queen giving us our thoughts on the women's basketball, senior women basketball team of Nigeria, the D Tigers at the Olympics. Still talking about the women, let's leave basketball and go to the field. We leave the courts, go to the field where everything is green and talk football. We talk about the Super Falcons on the show. They're seeking redemption. Will it be enough? We never can tell. The Super Falcons will be up against Japan. As you can see on your screen, that's what's going to happen tomorrow in Group C. What's on offer? A win? Maybe. Considering a lot of other factors, maybe not. You never can tell. But they're up against the Blue Samurai, the ladies from Japan. Will be up against the Super Falcons. You already know the story. They lost the first game against Brazil, lost the second game against Brazil, and their chances slim to none, if we want to be honest. Slim to none, if we want to be honest. But we'll see. Stranger things have happened in football. At least a win will put them in some kind of conversation. Will it be enough? I don't think so. But of course, let's see how all of this pans out. So, Super Falcons of Nigeria up against Japan. Let's show you how the group looks. How the group looks after two sets of matches from all. The Spanish women, the ladies from Japan, ladies from Brazil, and of course, the Nigerian ladies. All right. And so we go to the screen again, and Spain, very comfortable. Very, very comfortable. 6 points from 2 matches, a goal difference of +2. They're sitting pretty, and unless a disaster of immense proportion happens, Spain will qualify as the group leader. Remember I said unless a disaster of immense proportions, meaning if Brazil gets to hit them with so many goals and take out their goal difference. But as Nigerians, we wouldn't want that to happen. So we're just still hoping, keeping hope alive that maybe something will happen for the Super Falcons of Nigeria. So in that case, we're hoping that scenario doesn't play out, that maybe Spain hammers Brazil and throws Nigeria some sort of a lifeline. And Japan in the second position, 3 points. They defeated Brazil, and of course they have a goal difference of 0. Followed by Brazil, who defeated the Super Falcons. They've lost 1 game, they won 1, and they also have a goal difference of 0. So this is why a lot of people are looking at this and thinking something can happen here, especially against the backdrop of the fact that 2 best losers can qualify. So for instance, if the Super Falcons beat Japan by as many as 4 goals, get their own goal difference to maybe a +2, then of course if maybe Spain throw us a lifeline, we might still be in that conversation. You never can tell what can happen from there. So we'll see what happens. Coach Randy Waldrum has a game against the Blue Samurai to turn things around. We'll see what happens. It did some things right at the World Cup, but things seem not to be going well for the Super Falcons at this moment. Can they turn things around? Yes. Is the gap there? I think no. So it's evident that we can match the best teams in the world, skill for skill, talent for talent, player for player. So we'll see what happens when the play against Japan tomorrow. So we'll see that. All right, let's take a quick time out, and we'll return to talk some more. Of course, a lot of interesting things happening in the world of sports. We'll take that time out. We'll be back for more of Sports Tonight.
I know he's shown him to impress.
I think he's been African #1 for a couple of years now. He's won the title about 6 times. So I think he has enough experience to absorb whatever pressure might come. But I mean, without taking anything away, like you rightly pointed out, being African #1, being the first Nigerian to come and play in the men's singles at the Olympics, and being the first Nigerian to go for 2 Olympics in badminton, and he's doing it back to back. I mean, it will also come with its own kind of pressure. Everybody's looking up to him. The whole of Africa is looking up to him. So the pressure will come, but I am confident that he has enough experience to be able to absorb that pressure.
There seems to be some good progress from badminton, right from when your board came into play. Is this a testament that we need to do more for the sport in Nigeria?
Exactly so. I mean, if with the little that was done, we could get this result, then it means if we do more, we'll get more results. So, not just government, but the private sector. And the message, which is one of the things I love about your coverage of sports. You don't restrict yourself to football alone, because you strongly believe that beyond football, there are so many other sports that need support and encouragement. So I feel strongly that if we get a bit more, I'm telling you, there are so many Anus all over Nigeria, so many of them yet discovered and to be supported. And let me put it that way. So if we can discover them, nurture them, and groom them into champions, then we'll have many Anus in the continent. Yeah.
And what can you say we're doing right that is giving us this level of progress?
I would say that for Anu, what has happened is that we have exposed him a whole lot more. You can be Nigerian champion, you can be African champion. If you play within Nigeria alone, you remain a national champion, and that's where it ends. If you go outside Nigeria, you can now become African champion. And if you play within Africa alone, you remain African champion. So we've exposed him enough, and we've taken him out there to other parts of the world. He's played with some of the best players in the world. Yes, he's been beaten, but experience has continued to come in, and so that's what I feel. Because if we restrict our players, we don't give them enough exposure, then there's a limit to which their game can grow.
Welcome back. Before we went on that break, you listened to the president of the Badminton Federation of Nigeria, Francis Obi. And of course, he mentioned a particular name. Nigerians Opeyori Oluwapo, the player representing Nigeria in badminton. And of course, the piece of news that we have for you is that Opeyori has lost his first game. He lost against Switzerland's Tobias Coenzi. He lost 2-0 in his first game. He will be back. He will be playing again. He will be up against China's Li tomorrow. And this is hoping that he will be able to bounce back, turn things around, and get a victory in that one. So better luck to him next time. All right. So from badminton, we go to updates. Now, we can now start talking about the medal table. 3 African countries already on the medal table. You have South Africa, you have Egypt, you have Tunisia, and a lot of people are asking, when will Nigeria get on that table? We need to get there, especially after a lot of people have told us that we're going to do better than we did in Atlanta 96. I'm seeing South Africa, I'm seeing Egypt, I'm seeing Tunisia. I want to see Nigeria as well. All right, our man Austin Okon-Akpan is where everything is happening. He's at the center of it all, and we have so much joy in our hearts to hear him tell us what is happening there. Greetings to you, Austin. Thanks for finding time to be with us tonight, in spite of how tedious everything has been covering the games.
For the greetings to you, Yemi, and our viewers from different parts of the world. Yes, I totally agree with you that it's been so stressful. Right from when I touched down in Paris last night, and then the heat in Paris is no joke. I thought it was hot in Lagos until I got here, and today moving around. Whew, but we're glad the games are still going on. People from different parts of the world are right here in Paris. The city is buzzing. I've seen people from almost any part of the world that you can think of supporting the athletes. Some are just using the opportunity to come have a look at what Paris looks like. But for Team Nigeria, we're still hopeful. We're still believing right after that historic win that the D Tigers produced against Australia. We're like, yes, our Olympics is now back on track. So we're waiting to see if they can keep the momentum going against the host France on Thursday. But let's talk about Anu Oluwapo Opeyori, the team captain for Nigeria at this Olympics. He took on his opponent from Switzerland today, Tobias Coenzi. Now, I knew that was going to be a very difficult game because Coenzi comes with a lot of experience. That's what the Olympics does to you. You play the best of the best. It ended 21-14. Good learning experience for Anu Oluwapo Opeyori. Don't forget, he is the first Nigerian badminton player to compete in the men's singles and the first Nigerian player to make it to the Olympics back-to-back. So there's some sort of pressure in it for Anu, but being Africa's #1, that's what I asked Francis Obi today, the president of the Badminton Federation of Nigeria, that how is Anu going to handle this? He has lost today. He will go again tomorrow against China's Li. And Anu has been somebody who's been trying to carry us along with his badminton. So I hope he gets to win tomorrow. It will be good. That's him right there with Enerjo Abba, a close ally of his, who's also in his corner, teaching him 1 or 2 things about badminton. So I really do pray tomorrow Anu gets it good against his Chinese opponent. It's going to be tough, but we can just hope and believe, Yemi.
Yeah, we can just hope and believe. Also, you touched up on the heat. So let's just address the elephant in the room, the heat right there in France. A lot of things has been said. The athletes are getting AC units as the heat wave doing a number on some of them. Let's take some reactions from that. Then we allow Austin, who has experienced this firsthand, talk about what he's hearing and what is happening right there in Paris.
We believe we found a balance for the village between our long-term responsibility to create a model sustainable neighborhood that will last after the games, with all those innovations brought by the Solideo, this delivery agency for the village, with a lot of innovative construction methods, insulating facades and floor cooling. And on the other side, our responsibility responsibility, our short-term responsibility, to give to high-performance athletes the best condition in order to perform. And that's the reason why we've offered them the opportunity to rent a temporary AC. On our side, we will always promote the most sustainable solution, but it was important for us to provide them solutions.
All right, so that's the reality of what is going on right there in Paris, but trust the organizers, the local organizing committee. They're doing their best to make it easy for the athletes, get around some of these issues, and I like the way they're going about it. Also, before you came on, I was about to talk about the medal table, and I've been voicing the concerns of a few Nigerians who have seen South Africa, seen Tunisia, we've seen Egypt on the medal table, and we've had a lot of losses, a few losses with some of the athletes that we've seen, apart from the women's basketball team. I'll go across now, and we'll just show the top, but you're there, you know what's happening. South Africa in the top 12, South Africa in the top 12, Egypt in the top 30, Tunisia as well. As a matter of fact, South Africa has already won a gold. Even on day 4, they've already won a gold. And we're hoping that Nigeria will get on that podium as well. I don't know how many we're going to get, but I'm hoping. Now, this is what is happening. Japan have usurped China, because China were cruising at some point. But now, Japan with 7 gold, 2 silver, and 4 bronze, totally 13 are on top, followed by China with 6 gold medals, 6 silver medals, and 2 bronze medals, which gives you 14. And followed by the host, France, a combination of 5, 8, 4, totally 17, 5 gold, 8 silver, 4 bronze. These are the top 3 on the medal table, as it were. And so, Austin, your, should I say immediate reaction, but I don't know the best words to use. When do you expect to see Nigeria? A lot of people are saying, wait till athletics starts, wait for wrestling before you begin to say anything, because it appears that is where now table tennis has done a number on us. So we're not expecting anything from there. So wrestling and athletics, do you see anything outside those 2 events?
At this point, it's difficult, but I still feel our weightlifters can do something, you know. So let's wait and see. I think August will be good to Team Nigeria. Look, even the losses that we have recorded, particularly in table tennis, hopefully tomorrow we'll get to hear from the Chief Operating Officer of the Africa Table Tennis Federation. We still can't believe what happened to Aaron Okwadri. We still can't believe what happened to Edem Offiong. But look, these are good experiences in the bag, and that's what the Olympics does to you. So let's just hope that August is better. Athletics, we said the same thing at the Tokyo edition, but it was just Ese Brume that got on the podium. So let's not be too expectant or put pressure on our athletes. I don't want to even call names at this point because they are very focused. They just want to wait for their events to start and get right on it. If you see what South Africa and Tunisia are doing, you could tell that these numbers matter, Yemi. And we've said these things over and over again. With our population as a country, we should be having athletes almost in every department. But we know the problems, and we do not want to solve these problems. And that's why we're still struggling. So hopefully when the Ministry of Sports Development and the federations and the NOC decide to sit down and say, look, we can't keep going to the Olympics and be shouting that we are giants of Africa, and then we go there and we're depending on 1, 2, or max 3 persons to give us medals. It's quite disappointing. And the issues, till today, we're still hearing exchange of words between the Ministry of Sports Development and the Nigeria Olympic Committee over the different kits that we have been talking about before the Olympics, that they refuse to address back home. You see, the problems are still here, and the athletes know. What are we wearing? What is the general kit? What's Actively Black doing? What is PIC doing? Yes, to some officials, they will know. Does the public know? Do the athletes know? These are issues. Look at what we have been saying about doping. Now, the Court of Arbitration of Sports, they have confirmed that Ogunshemilore is guilty of the banned substance that was found in her system and that she's still provisionally suspended. It puts a question mark again on the education that we're doing for doping. But somebody will not just be accountable, won't take it, because these sort of stories, they do something to you psychologically, you know. So I just hope that in my lifetime, I'll start seeing my country make those valid changes, start taking corrections to mistakes that they make. And that's when we can start turning things around with our sport here, man.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope that we'll not have too many bitter tales. We've had one already with the boxer, another one with the mild drama going on with the issue of kids. But I'm hoping. But let me take you back a little. You said in Tokyo, but remember, a lot of us don't want that experience. We had to wait to the last few days before Esther Brume and Tobiloba. I mean, who else? Yeah, give us something. I don't think our hearts can take that long journey.
It's not our fault. We have to wait. For instance, I think wrestling starts on the 6th of August, you know, and athletics is going to start, I think, on the 1st or the 2nd. So by the time you do the preliminaries and we have an athlete in the final, it will stretch towards the end of the Olympics. So we'll just wait. I think it will be good if we end it properly, you know, because now we've been saying, look at how we started, look at how our athletes are crashing out. And then at the end of the day, we're singing the victory song. That would be good. But there's just one thing about winning with Nigeria. When we win now, it gives opportunity to our sports officials to start thinking that all is well and that they're doing the right things. No. And when you try to call these people out, they just don't get it. I'm not calling you out because I love just telling you to or pointing to what you've not done. It's just so you can see that the media is a watchdog to the society, that we can see that you're not doing the right thing. And we want to talk to you to be able to, you know, start doing the right things. That's just the problem here. So yes, we'll wait. Athletics looks good. I just pray that all of these stories will not, you know, disturb the athletes or touch their attention, but they are professionals. I'm sure they are used to it and they'll stay focused. Wrestling, this is the moment. I just said I don't want to call names, but Ojuanyo Adekuroye, she's got a point to prove after what happened to her in Tokyo. Blessing Oborodudu, we say to ourselves, if I can win silver at the 2020 edition in Tokyo, then I can win gold this time around. Ese Brume, if I can get a bronze, why can't I get silver or gold this time around? Toby Express, everyone is talking about her. Who says she can't be on the podium? I like the form that the shot put guys and the discus ladies are showing. Who knows? There's Choma in there, there's Obiageri in there. You know, so we can only hope. We can believe that this time around our athletes will just, you know, ignore the shenanigans from the officials or whatever they're doing with sports and just go out there to compete for Nigeria's pride and glory.
Yeah, and I'm also hoping that, like the other time, we don't get decimated with all these doping issues. I'm hoping because it looks like the athletes are ready. Also, let's talk about something that also happened in Paris today. And again, I must commend the organizers, the way they are swift in their reaction to issues. Triathlon couldn't take place today because of the pollution levels of the Seine River, and they had to put up the event for today. They're thinking of tomorrow. They're trying to do a few things to put it in proper shape for the triathlon tomorrow. And a lot of people have been speaking, the delegation from Australia, hoping that they get to have their events tomorrow. But you're there, and your thoughts on this. They talk about high pollution levels. So will a day make a difference with what we are seeing? You're looking at the colors, you're looking at pollution levels and all that for athletes to enter into this river. But I trust maybe the organizers have an ace on their sleeve. Maybe they're going to do something to ensure that it's clean enough for the athletes to compete.
And if it's not clean enough, forget about it. We're not going to have that event. I've lived in the United Kingdom since 2020, and I know in Europe they don't joke with health and safety. That's a big deal right there. If they don't come out with proper environmental assessment that shows the risk assessment method statement saying that this is now fit for purpose, people can compete without us having issues, then they're not going to have it. So we're still waiting for an official press statement from the International Olympic Committee and the Paris organizers to say if the Seine River will be good enough for triathlon to get, a goal tomorrow. The fans want to see it. Most people buy tickets just to come watch this particular event, that has different events put into one. But as I said, health and safety is a big deal in Europe. So if they are doing the assessment and they're not comfortable that it's good enough for athletes to get in there and compete, then we're not going to have it, unfortunately. So we'll wait for that official statement to come tomorrow, and then hopefully triathlon will go on.
All right, hopefully it does. All right, Kehinde Idris is with us now. Couldn't be here with us physically through no fault of his, it must be said. Greetings to you, Kehinde Idris. Thanks for finding time to be with us on the show. Okay, I don't know if you can hear me, Kehinde. Thanks for joining us. I want to quickly get your thoughts on Team Nigeria so far.
I'll just jump in briefly. I think Kehinde is trying to, get it set up properly. Just to talk about the general look and feel right here in Paris. I tell you, each time I attend global sporting events, I just say, why are we not doing enough to use sports to make this world a better place? Because you could see even countries where it's so certain that they are not going to win any medals. Their fans, the supporters are here, just to celebrate with people from all over the world and just feel the power of sports, and contribute to the objective of the Olympic movement to promote world peace and unity. From the moment I touched down at the Gare du Nord train station in Paris, I could feel the love, the hospitality. This country just wants to tell people that, look, with sports, we can make this world a better place.
Yeah, I agree with you. Let's take some reaction from the news item. We talk about the triathlon event couldn't hold today because of the high pollution levels of the Seine River. The officials have been talking. Let's take some reaction.
As you know, the priority for, the IOC World Triathlon in Paris 2024 are the health of the athletes. And, the tests that were carried out on the Seine revealed that water quality were not sufficient on the entirety of the course. That's why we immediately informed the athletes and the coaches as soon as the decision was taken at 4:00 in the morning. You have, of course, been witnessing that we had meteorological events which were beyond our control that took place, such as the rainfall over Paris on the 26th and 27th of July that have altered the water quality and so compelled us to reschedule this event for health reasons. The whole world has seen, as witnessed, that it rained heavily in and around Paris during the opening ceremony, but of the day after. As you know, we also had to postpone the skateboarding competition for that same reason. And the equivalent of July in rainfall fell in just 36 hours, which is like 25 millimeters, which is a lot. So the decisions regarding tomorrow morning you're going to be informed at 4 a.m. And will be communicated to you as soon as possible. We'll inform the athletes first and then the journalists. We are quite hopeful because, as you can see, the weather conditions have been quite good over the past few days with the return of the sun and quite high temperatures who have a positive impact on the water quality combined with all the infrastructure that have been put in place. So we are hopeful that we can organize these two competition events tomorrow.
All right, so the organizers talking there. And one word that kept on recurring: water quality, water quality, water quality. Just like Austin said, everything has to be in tip-top shape. All right, let me not deny Kehinde Idris. It's time under the sun, even though we're pressed for time. Kehinde Idris, the floor is yours. Quickly, your thoughts on Team Nigeria.
Good evening. It's been topsy-turvy. it's not been what we wanted, but, we still have reasons to smile. The Tigress. Then I heard Austin mentioning some names like Tobiloba Musa Ise Brome, Odoi Adekuroye, Blessing Oborodudu. So we still have some top hopes, and we would have our fingers crossed on that. Hopefully, at the end of the day, the aim is to at least surpass 1996, and hopefully we'll surpass that.
I didn't want to go there, but you took me there. Do you think we can do that?
I have a feeling that we would have a good Olympics.
You have not answered my question. You have to answer the question.
I think we would have an Olympics we'll remember for a long, long time.
All right, okay, let me leave you since you're trying to be clever.
I don't think I have fears that we can surpass that.
Okay, all right. Let me leave it at that. We're pressed for time, like I said, but I want to thank you for joining us on the show. Hopefully, we'll do this again some other time. You'll be with us in the studio. Thank you, Kehinde Idris. For your time on the show. All right. I guess that's much we can take on the segment around the Olympics. So we'll take a breather. And, of course, you see me after you hear this sound. Then, of course, we use the few minutes we have left to talk about some other things in your amazing fast pace. Back, let's have to do a mini mode down here. So let's talk about what is going to be part of the next Olympics. We're talking about, bikers in Nigeria, hoping that the 2028 Olympics will allow them showcase their skills and their talents. An event was held over the weekend in Nigeria where you saw a lot of these guys do what we know as extreme sports and showing stunts with the bike, some with the cars. A lot of things they put on display for the viewers, for the people who turned out to see them do. It was a rally that was held, a lot of show off. Some of the things you see on screen, you would think you don't have people in Nigeria who can do it, but we've seen so many talented people in Nigeria doing things we term as extreme sports. All right, just let me allow us to say something because we're really pressed for time. You're looking at these pictures and you're looking at things you probably thought you see, maybe only Europeans do, but you see that people embrace some of the things we call extreme sports.
That's what it is, and how better can it get? I mean, it's also an Olympic sport, So I've said with our numbers in the country and the talent that God has blessed us with, who says we cannot have people with the BMX, bikes representing us in the Olympics someday? Look at how much medals that are out there to win in this event. Just look at swimming also, see the medals out there. So I like the development of BMX in Nigeria. Shout out to everyone involved. I think we have one of the advocates on the show the other day, and I'm glad at Channel Sports we let people see that, look, we have people who can do these things. We just lack the systems, the structures, the will, and the proper leadership to drive it home.
All right. I think there's not much to add to what Austin has said, and our numbers are enough for us to be a multi-sport nation. All right, I don't know if we have much time to take, but just to let you know that bids have been submitted. The host nations for the 2030 and 2034 World Cups have now submitted proper bids for the World Cup. All right, so let me just quickly thank Austin for his time, for coming through for us. Hopefully, when next we're having this, it will be properly seated and be able to give us in-swingers from Paris.
Yeah. I mean, let's not forget that we need to support the Super Falcons. They have a crucial game against Japan tomorrow. Let's just hope that they win that one. And the forces of football we just align for Nigeria and push the Super Falcons to the next stage.
All right. Let me also thank Kehinde Idris, who incidentally is still with us. Kehinde Idris, thank you for your time. We'll do this again some other time.
Yeah, always looking forward to that.
All right, that's the show today. We do hope you enjoyed everything we'll be able to bring to you. We'll be back again tomorrow. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Bye-bye now.